Hello,
Hi, hi, hi.
good
Can you hear
evening or good morning from the side of the world you are talking from.
me? Good evening, good morning, madam. Wait, are we
Yeah,
live right now?
we are actually live right now.
Oh,
We are
okay.
waiting for others to join. I already shared the link in the groups,
You did
so we are
not tell
waiting for
me I
them
had
to
to turn
join.
on my camera.
You don't want to grace us with your fine face.
We are going, but I'm going to start that from this month. It's small, small. Bro, I've never done anything on YouTube before. Like everything here seems new. All right,
Can
can you
you
hear me
navigate
now?
it now? So we are going to start by 8:05. We are going to start. So let's just give others 2 minutes to join and we will start ASAP. Because after this session, we still have one more session. We just finished the photography session. One more minute. We have 6 people right now. One more minute and then we'll kick off.
All right, no problem.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Even though the blue, you decided to blind us so I will not see your face.
No, 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 bruh. All right.
Okay, we can see you now.
I'm just going to do this right. Wait, hold on.
Right.
Hold on. That's a lot. That's a lot.
So that please don't be very shy. Tech, all this tech bro. I don't know why. Please, let's get started. This is already 8:05, so let's get started.
All right, sure. I think I okay. Can you hear me?
Before we even start, I'm going to introduce him. Novaprayer is my boss. He is my boss. See, this link is directing. Sorry, I think some they are having issues with joining. The link is directing them somewhere, so
Yeah, mine
I
was
need to
having the
sort
same
it out.
issue. So it was the first link you sent to me that directed me to YouTube.
Okay, let them. All right, I think it's working now. So they'll be joining back soon.
Okay, okay.
All right, so let's start. Let's say in 2 minutes. I don't know what type of glitch that is, oh, but I'm sharing the link directly from the
Yeah.
platform.
It takes you to Apple Store to go and update your YouTube and all of that.
Okay, I have to update my iOS.
No, no, I think it's from the link. I just think it's glitching because it doesn't direct you to YouTube. It directs you to App Store to download YouTube. That's just the thing.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Okay, welcome everyone.
My hair is so messy,
Welcome,
Jesus.
welcome. With us today is Nova Prayer. So while we are waiting for others to join, you can search for him on TikTok. Can you type from your end? Nova Prayer.
I
I can't type from
can't.
my end.
I also can't. I don't know
Okay,
why.
so follow him, Nova Prayer, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. Is my boss. You are even very lucky to be seeing his face today. Usually, he does not show his face. If you even see the design, he refused to send us his picture with his face. All
Ah,
right, so
this
I don't know
woman.
why he's hiding his head, but yeah, that is it. We are so glad to have you here. Okay, so by 8:10 on dots, you can take the floor, sir.
I'm
Thank you so much.
I'm
Really
I'm
appreciate.
glad to be here with you as well. So while we are waiting, how about you give me a brief of, you know,
I didn't
everything?
hear that question.
I said while we are waiting, how about you give me a brief on, your program, what
How
you guys
about
are
me? I
doing.
do what?
You give me a brief on your program, what you guys are doing and all of that.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. So we are we are currently doing a 30 to 60 day certification sprint, and then we have various courses that we are taking. We have graphics design, we have photography, we have artificial intelligence, that's AI automation, we have web design, we have programming. Yeah, so we have eight in total. We have eight courses in total, actually. So, most of the time is actually self-taught. We are using a platform known as MindLuster, and MindLuster actually they have different courses with certification. So you take different courses and you get certified for free. Now, because it is self-taught, right? You watch videos, you know, it's not like when you're talking with an expert where you can ask question and then get feedback immediately. So that's why I came up with the idea that okay, let me bring in experts on each field. So now today, for example, we already had the photography session where the photographer, a seasoned photographer, came online and then spoke with the photography students, right? There they're able to like ask him questions and he also answered them. Okay, so now at this point we are having you as a graphics designer to actually talk with our graphics design. They are beginners. They are beginners. So they need all the tricks and the tips from you. Okay, so that's why we are here today.
Okay, okay, that's good, that's good. So you said we're starting by what time?
We are starting now. We've started already.
We're starting now.
We've started already.
Okay, okay. So would you like me to like talk freely or you have like questions for me first of all? Did you hear me?
I can't hear you, but I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
can
can
hear
hear
me.
you properly.
All
Yeah,
right.
I said, would you like me to like just
You
flow
s-
freely or you have questions for me?
no, we actually just introduce yourself, then flow, then at the end we ask questions and you take them, you give us answers.
Okay, okay, okay. So first of all, I think from the flyer you guys already know the name I go with. I go by Nova Prayer, and I'm a I'm actually a lot of things, but then I'm a lot of things actually. But then I started with graphic design, obviously, And yeah, so currently I do design, dev, project management, and a lot of other things. But then graphic design was like my base, and yeah, I still do graphic design, and it was one of the few things that helped me transition into every other thing I do right now. So that's just like my intro. That's just my intro for now. So I'm just going to, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay,
clearly.
so I'm just going to talk based off the context of, oh, I'm like giving like sharing tips to someone I know who is just coming into the graphic designer space and all of that. So one thing I'll say is when you're coming into the design space, you need to know that the design space is a space that people think is already really, really, really saturated right now, and there's some form of truth in it. That means you have to stand out, you have to make sure that you're unique and you're different. That's one of the first thing I would have to say, because you're coming into a field which everyone is going into, AI is going into, people are trying to figure it out by themselves. What would actually make you different from every other person is how, what actually makes you stand out. So you have to actually find something or be something that people can't just find anywhere. That's the first thing I would say. That's the first tip I would say. As much as you're learning, you have to have like your strong suit. You have to have qualities that would make people know that this is actually different. This person is different from any other person, that I've worked with or I'm going to be working with moving on. That's the first thing I have to say. Then the second thing I'll also say about being a graphic designer is learning the business of graphic design. One thing people, a lot of people don't understand is there is a business aspect to anything you're doing, skill or whatsoever. There's always, as long as you want to make money from it, there's a business aspect to that. People, that's why sometimes you're going to see people's design, you're going to be like, oh, this guy is really, really good. This guy is like a very badass designer. But then this funny enough, this your badass designer is not getting gigs or is not actually like earning as much as he should be with his skills. Now that's because there's a business aspect of design. So when I talk about the business aspect of design, one of them, it includes, you have to learn how to pitch your service. One, you have to learn how to position your service. You have to learn how to make sure that your clients are not like churn and burn. You need to make sure that you have a relationship with your clients. Actually, maintain this client. You need to make sure that positioning, I've talked about positioning, I've talked about client relationship, pitching to clients, and also client retention. So you need to actually make sure that you know this other part. Aside from being a better designer, if you can't do these other things, you're as well as just a beginner, because people are just going to have first time experience with you and then they are gone. If you're a very, if you like, be badass and all, if your relationship with your client goes wrong, that client is going to replace you like ASAP. So you need to learn the business of design. When I work with clients, I am very, very like, I have like proposals that I give to clients, which makes it irresistible to for them actually. And the reason they come to me most times is not just because, oh, they like my design. First of all, you need to be able to give these people an environment where they feel like, oh, I can actually trust this person with this job. Two, this person shows off signs of, oh, I'm actually qualified and I actually want to work with this person because of how they've positioned themselves. The skill matters definitely, but then there are just other top things. Like if they bring five badass designers, what would actually make you pick one person? That's one of the questions you need to ask. So you need to make sure that you yourself, you actually like put yourself in a state whereby you're different from every other person. You know, have qualities that you can't just find in any other random designer. And also the business of design. These two things here, I'm just going to try to break it down a little more before I take questions. Now, when I talk about the first thing being this, being like different from other basic designers, designers are people who build brand identities for people. You help people get branded, you do all of that. And for you to be a designer, for you to actually design brand identity, you need to actually understand what identities are all about. You can't be a designer who talks about, oh, I can help you design your brand identity, but then you don't even have an identity yourself. There's nothing that you're known for, there's nothing you're known with, there's no style, there's no pattern that they know that, this guy can crush it anytime, any day. You need to first of all brand yourself. Brand yourself. Don't be another random designer that is on the social media advertising for flyer. I want, oh, definitely I did all of this too. Let me, don't get me wrong, don't think that I just started off and I skipped all this part. No, you're going to have this whole phase whereby, but then all I'm saying is that just make sure that you learn from it. You should be able to, even if you're at that phase right now, you should be able to transition from the phase of, oh, please let me design your flyer for 5K. Please, your flyer is not fine. I can do it for 2K. You should be able to transition from all of that into someone who people would source for and want to work with. How do you actually do that? Also, that leads us to business side of design, which number one should be your positioning. What are you positioned as? I'll tell you something here. When it comes to business, business is the same everywhere. It's just like there are so many interrelated things when it comes to business. A lot of people would want to, let's say, for example, now, people think it's just about the skill. It's not all about the skill, yeah. Let me say something now. People like, let's just say, for example, let's use dancers. Okay, let's use musicians now. You want to host an event, you DM Whiskey. Whiskey tells you that, oh, his rate is 1 million naira. You DM Portable. Portable tells you that his rate is 200K. Portable is obviously cheaper than Whiskey, but then you would, if you had the 1 million, you would definitely go for Whiskey. Why? Because of how Whiskey has positioned himself. Because of what, I know people will be talking about fans. No, I'm just skipping that part. But because of how he has positioned himself, because of where he is at the moment. So as a designer, you need to learn how to position yourself properly. If you're a designer that anybody could randomly just pay 2K and get a job done, some people like their job to be associated with, what would I even put it? How would I even put it? It's just, let's just talk about clothing. Let's just talk about clothing right now, yeah? Let's say there are two tailors on your street. One of them always begs people, please, oh, come, let me sew your clothes. I can do for you this clothes for 1K. Please, oh, please, oh, please, oh. Then the other one is someone who people have to like book an appointment with. I'm not saying that as a designer they should book appointment with you. I'm just giving you an instance. But then the other tailor is someone that you have to book an appointment, go through their proposal, go through their catalog, and then when they are done with your clothes, they have like this label and all of that, all this stylish stuff. Now, even though the other guy is expensive, you would actually want to work with this person because let me actually have that vibe that, oh, I worked with this lady. This was the person that made my clothes. This is the company that did my branding. This is the company that made my logo. This is who designed my this and all of that. Than just a random person that everybody knows that is begging to design flyer for 5K online. So your positioning matters a lot. And you being properly positioned adds value to you as a designer. Now I'm going to give instances of positioning. Now, for myself personally, what are the few things I do to position myself personally? When you go through some of my social media, you're not going to see a lot of my works because I positioned myself in ways where I have a target audience and only them see this thing. Now, this is a personal decision, not that you should do it though. Do you understand? Positioning yourself now as a designer, first of all, you need to know that, oh, some of your works, not all your work should be posted. I'll tell you for a fact. Not all your work should be posted. There are people that clients' ideas are going to ruin your work. It's not because you just want to post that you did a flyer, you just carry it like that and post. Even though that you know that this client actually ruined it for you. That's the first one. Not all your work should be posted. You should be able to package your works properly. Have another thing you should also have as a designer is be more than just a flyer designer, be more than just a logo designer. People love it when you post about a logo and give a backstory of how you came about that logo. People love it when you talk about a flyer and give like a little people are asking me, are you sure I should have done I broke my laptop? People are going to want to. I can see your design. How do I evaluate my design? Anytime I add some stuff, it keeps cutting. Okay, we're going to get to Photoshop first of all. Yeah, we are going to come to Photoshop and all of that. People are going to want to hear things about how how you did this, how you did this project, and all of that. Because people love story. People love story. People love following the journey. People love all that stuff. So you need to learn how to package your works properly. When you package your works, people will not just come to you for a design, they will come to you for the experience. Oh, this designer talked about how he built this lady's brand identity from 0 to 1,000, and how they did this, how they did that, and all of that. And then so another lady is like, wow, aside from design, I actually want to see how this person would actually build my brand identity and all of that. So that's that about positioning. I think people want to hear a lot about design, so I'm going to start diverging into design a little. So about people, okay, let's go to Photoshop and Canva. Let me talk about Photoshop and Canva. A lot of people claim that Canva designers are not graphic designers, and some people claim that, oh, having using Photoshop means I'm actually a standard designer. Design is way above the software that you're using. Being a graphic designer does not depend on the software that you're using. That's the first thing you need to know. You can be a Photoshop designer and be trash. You can be a Canva designer and be super great. It's just about what are the limitations of this software. That's the only reason why I would advise anyone to use Photoshop. It's just because Photoshop has less limitations than Canva. That's the only reason why I would advise anyone to use Photoshop. I can't overlook this question that I'm still here, so I'm just going to answer it. How do I overlay designs? Anytime I add some stuff on PS, it keeps cutting. Now, if you're having issues like this where your Photoshop keeps cutting, there are two things that may be involved. I think either the version you're using is bad, or you have like really low memory on your laptop. So these are the two major reasons I think may be causing this. So one thing you can do is get another version of Photoshop. If it's still having the same issue, then try to clear your disks. If your scratch disk is full, it will definitely be cutting as well, or your laptop is just hanging. So you need to know, is it that the Photoshop shuts down and your laptop is still like moving fast, or your laptop stops moving at all? Then you know that, okay, if your laptop stop moving at all, then it's from your laptop. If it's just Photoshop that ends and all of that, then it's either from your what's the thing, from the space or the version of Photoshop. Now, what about Adobe Express? Adobe Express is not really, I would not call it a design app per se. It's just an add-on app. I think if you actually want to go into graphic design, use either Canva or Adobe Photoshop. I think those two are the things, few things you can start with, and then you can go into any other thing you want to go into. Surprised you would have told me to actually bring my laptop.
Okay, so you're advising that they should not use the Adobe Express when they are starting.
Oh, they can
And like
start.
why?
No, no,
Why
you
do you
can
why are
you
you
can
saying that?
start with. That's why I said the app does not matter. The only thing that matters is the limitations of the app. Do you get? You can start with Canva, you can start with Adobe Express, you can start with I myself, I started with an app called Logopit. Then from Logo Pit, I moved to PixArt. From PixArt, I moved to Pixel Lab. From Pixel Lab, I moved to CapCut, then Photoshop, then Figma. Yeah. So you can just start with anything, but then also try to always don't limit yourself. That's just what I would say. You can start with Canva, you can start with any of these things, but don't limit yourself to just that one. Because some of Adobe Express has limitations, Photoshop has limitations, Canva has limitations as well. So when you start facing these limitations, look for another app that can do that what your current app cannot do. That's just it. So as a designer, anyone has any other question? I think now I'll take question. I've had a long talk. I think now I'll just take questions if there are any questions. I can't hear you, surprise.
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. So I was saying that anyone, if you have any question, please drop it. You have his next 10-20 minutes. We have it now. So ask him that question. You've been watching that video. Some of you have you started getting like certifications for the fundamentals. So now ask him that question. The benefit of bringing him here is because he's an expert in the field and he has probably used all those things. Me now, I don't know. I don't know anything about apart from Canva. And with that we are I'm still JJC, so I can't answer those questions. And that's why he's here to answer that question. So if you have anything to ask as a beginner, please ask him. I also dropped some questions in the group that you can also ask. You can ask him. So ask him now. Okay, so drop it in the comment section so he can answer.
Well, we're waiting for now. Okay, that's another thing I'll say. While we're waiting for questions, another thing I'll say about this whole app thing is when it comes to picking an app, you just have to start with something that is available to you. If you don't have a laptop, you can always start with CapCut. If you have a laptop and a laptop that can actually like run Photoshop seamlessly, then definitely you should actually get Photoshop. The first app I'll recommend is Photoshop. It's complicated. Canva is simpler. You can, as a beginner starting from zero, I think you should start with Canva. But then if you can have Canva and Photoshop at the same time, I think that works well too. You can have both of them. So anytime you think that, oh, Photoshop is getting too complicated, you try Canva. But then one of your end goals should be Photoshop. If I should add, one of your end goals should be Photoshop because Photoshop is one of the best. And yes, if Photoshop gets tiring or complicated, you can try Figma. But I think if you can use Figma, Photoshop should not be an issue. So I think Photoshop is like my top recommendation when it comes to design. When it comes to design. So that's just what I would say about apps, Photoshop versus Canva versus Express. I've only had like a very little experience with Express. And when I did have that experience, it was like way too limited for me. So I didn't go ahead. And I don't know if they've like made updates to it right now, to Express right now, or it's still like the same Express that I've always known. So that's just all I would say about apps and all of that. If there's any other thing like you guys want to ask relating to apps also or design as well, you can also do that. But like, yeah,
Can you hear me? I have another
yeah,
question.
I've been talking since. So can you hear me?
I have a question. Yeah, I can hear you. I
All
can
right,
hear
no
you.
problem.
Okay, so the question I actually want to ask, right? So while we're waiting for them to drop their question, is that so as a beginner graphic designer, how can I build my portfolio from scratch? And how do I get jobs, internships, and stuff? Because of course, there are jobs that if I apply for, they will tell me, oh, you need a year or 2 years experience or all those things. So, as a beginner graphic designer, please can you enlighten me on how I can, build a portfolio, how I can get jobs or internship?
Okay. One thing about all of this, I think design is one of the easiest field to do so all of these things. That I think design is one of the easiest fields to do because when it comes to design, experience matters, but like your skill is also very, very important. So now building your portfolio as a designer is really, really easy. Obviously, I would not say you should go and look for paid. You can use
I can't hear you anymore. Or is it just me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Can
Oh,
you
it's back,
can
it's
you hear
back.
me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So sorry I disconnected for a while. So what I was saying about building your portfolio is this, you don't even need permission to do some of these things. One of the few things people can do to build their portfolio, you can on your free time pick a brand and maybe do a rebrand for them. Like that's one of the easiest way to build portfolio. Rebrand things that have already been branded, redesign things that has already been designed. That's one of the fastest way that you can. I don't know if you guys can hear me or did I disconnect again?
Yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay. Now you can rebrand things that has already been branded, redesign things that have already been designed, and a lot more. These are ways you be like it's very easy. It's just that it's going to be free work, obviously, and some of them might not use this work. But then you're actually like showing people your design skills. For example, the flyer you sent to me now, the flyer for this live event. If I was a newbie designer, I would have been like, "Oh, this flyer is good, but let me also design it and just add to my portfolio." So you redesign this, reach out to Surprise and be like, "Hello, ma, please, I redesigned your flyer, you can use it or not for free, blah 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 blah." Now, whether that person uses it or not is not your business, it's not your concern. At the end of the day, you have a flyer design that is already in your portfolio. Very simple. Now you can start reaching out the same way you can start reaching out to more people. If you do that like 3 to 4 times and you're really good, one person will definitely just post it because obviously it's free work. You're just giving them free work. Now, one thing he will do is if you design Surprises flyer very well and then she likes it, her next event she'll be like, "Oh, there's this guy that did something for me like that. Let me actually like give him an opportunity again." You DM the person, give them the job. It's as simple as that. It's just that a lot of designers want to start off making money. Obviously, it will not be that way. You have to offer a lot of free services, you know. DM people, tell them, "Oh, I want to intern with you." When it comes to internship and design, design is a high demand skill actually. Although even though the industry is getting saturated, it's still a skill. It's still like really high in demand because basically everything you do involves design. Restaurants need design. Tech brands need design. Every industry need design. That's the thing you understand. If you take Dangote groups, one of the richest groups in Nigeria, if not the richest actually, they've been dragging them on Twitter for like how many years now that they are always doing rubbish design. And then finally, they finally employed a designer. So every industry needs design. So you can just pitch to anybody, "Oh, I can redesign this, I can do this," and it's totally for free. It's actually hard because you're doing free work, but then you start up as free. When you have this portfolio, your next pitch, you're pitching with a price. It will no longer be, "Oh, can I do this for you for free?" It will now be, "Oh, these are some of my works I've done for people, and I can do yours for 1 million naira." Simple. That way, you've built a portfolio and you've done it like easily. Design, you can build portfolio easily. Same thing as writing. So yeah, that's just my own idea on how you can build your first portfolio as a beginner. Are you sure you're not muted?
Thank you so much. I just learned another tip today. Okay, okay, okay. So, as a beginner graphic designer, I can see a design, redesign it, make it better, and then pitch myself to the person or send it to the person and tell the person, "Oh, I redesigned this." You can put it up on your page or you cannot. But that way, I would also be able to add it to my own portfolio. That's really, really amazing. And at the end of the day, that's the truth. At the end of the day, by the time they need a graphic designer, even their current graphic designer might be fucking up. So the moment you now pitch yourself, now they'll be like, "Oh, we now have a better person," and you'll be the next person they will come to. You can't just tell. Wow, that is really, really amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nova Prayer. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. So my other question is that what are the worst mistake that you can make as a graphic designer, a beginner graphic designer? I'm sure along the path of you being a professional graphic designer, you probably make some mistakes that you'd like to advise somebody else. That way, that person is not going to repeat that type of mistake. So, what are those mistakes, and how can somebody navigate those mistakes? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Please type in the comment section if you can hear me. Please type in the comment section if you can hear me. Mesoma, Favor, Kolawole Mary, Emmanuel, Variolinks, JP. Okay, you're back. Can you hear me? Did you hear my question?
I didn't get your last question. It just keeps breaking.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. So I was saying that now you started as a beginner graphic designer, right? And there are some mistakes you made that you would advise somebody else that is just coming into the space. So what are those mistakes you made? And how can they navigate it as a graphic designer so that they won't make that same mistake? Or even if they make that mistake, how can they navigate it?
Okay, can you hear me? Can
Yes,
you
I
hear
can
me?
hear
Can you hear
you.
me? Okay. One of the biggest mistakes I made as a graphic designer was committing so much to a promised, I would like call it a promised project without actually gaining anything in return. Now, when I say that's the first part I said, whereby you should be ready to do free work. As much as I said free work, you should also know your limits, because the manner in which you do this free work is going to reflect to the value people give to your work and to you as a person. So starting off, if you go about, like, if you constantly do, that's why I said, instead of, you can also pick already like big brands and just rebrand for them. Because one thing I would say is, when you offer people multiple free jobs, it brings down the value they see in you, because they would no longer want to pay you so much for a job, because, oh, they've already gotten, like, it doesn't happen with everybody per se, but like a few of them. So one of the biggest mistake I made was offering people too much free services, which made them to actually look down. A few mistakes I made. Then the second, investing back.
I can't hear you again. I heard not investing back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You said not investing back.
All right.
That's where I heard.
Yeah, okay. So then, as when I was starting off as a designer, it was more or less, oh, I just want to make the next design from the flyer. I want to make the next money from this. I want to make the next money from that. And made money. I was, instead of saying, oh, let me actually make money to upgrade maybe my PC, maybe this, maybe that. And the one thing I'll say about design is that you actually need to upskill yourself. You actually need to upskill yourself at every instance. Do you understand? You need to upskill yourself. So when you start making money, no matter how small it is, pay for a course if you can. Pay for a course if you can, get a better laptop if you can, add some, just make sure you just keep upscaling. When you've upscale to like a really good stage, the money will just like just start coming, and then it's going to actually be like kind of constant, and you would not need to like invest back a lot, because some of these things are already running. Because I remember my first huge design salary, I got a generator, I got a mi-fi. These two things were things that helped me deliver faster without excuses. because skill matters, delivery, I told you guys, skill matters, relationship with clients matters, how fast you deliver also matters, because your clients cannot be trying to reach you, but then there's no network in your area. Some people might not work with you just because this person is always offline. You can be very, very good, but then you're never available. People might not want to work with you. So just upskill and make sure that you actually invest into coping out all these obstacles. That's just the mistakes. And obviously I learned from it and I've upskilled actually. So yeah, that's just what I'll say for now. You're muted again. I can't hear you. I think you're muted. I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That I don't know why that's frequent. But okay. Okay. So we have a question. Sorry, I just unmuted. I just realized that. Mason Mavic, if you also have a question, drop it. Kolawole Mary, if you have a question, drop it. We'll be ending this live session soon. We have a question, Nova Prayer. Which app is best for a beginner to learn? I think you already answered that.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
still,
answered this. I think you were
yeah.
off. I think you were off the call when I answered it.
Okay, I think the person is just joining. So to give you a brief like answer to that, he said it's not dependent on the app, right? It's dependent on your skills. Am I right?
Yeah.
So he also said that you can be using Photoshop and what you are doing is nonsense, and you can be using Canva and what you are doing is so good. So it's not dependent on the app. Start from any app that is available to you. For example, if you don't have a laptop, you can start with Canva, but make sure that you are good with what you are doing, even with that Canva. And the last point he made, where he said, "Oh, that one of the mistake he made was not investing back." If you are a beginner graphic designer, when you start making money from it, start investing back. For example, you started with your phone and you started with Canva, right? So you need to invest back into it, get a laptop or get a better laptop. you know I think that as that Afolashe, uh, have I answered your question? Did I answer your question, Afolashe? Then any other person, do you have a question? We are ending this call in the next 4 minutes. Nova Prayer, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. And even like, okay, yes, okay, that's good. Graphic design, I'm clapping for you guys. The graphic design team, you guys are MVPs. Like you guys are the most active group. Like you're the most active group, and I like that majority of you have gotten your certifications for the fundamentals in graphics design. Also, if you are here to watch the next course, please go ahead and start watching it. Okay, so we have 3 minutes more. Let's see if we still have questions. If we don't, we are going to be closing for the day. For not for the day, for the graphic design team. All right. If you still have any question, no question is stupid though. No question is stupid. You are here to learn. Like you are here to learn. And the thing is, nobody can even check your profile or anything. So you are here to learn. Don't even like bother about what any other person is thinking. You are here to learn. You set that new year resolution goal, and that's why you are here. You want to learn, you want to be better. So ask that question. When next is the graphic design class? Oh, okay. So here's the thing. For the graphic design class, we are currently like having a 30 to 60 day certification print. We are using a free platform that also give free certification. Okay, so and we have courses, different courses. We have graphics design, we have digital marketing, we have web design, programming, and so much more. We have 8 in total. Okay, so we don't host this type of class regularly. We just decided to bring someone, an expert in the graphics design team and other team, right? We decided to bring them in actually, so that they can answer questions. But we have a group, we have a WhatsApp community where you can take your courses and also drop what you learned every day. How do I get clients? Okay, Nova Prayer, you have a question. How do I get clients? As Oyiloye Fatiu, did I answer your question? So we have a WhatsApp community basically for a graphic design class, for the class. Nova Prayer, you have a question. How do I get clients as a student?
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you
Can you
hear
hear
me?
me?
Yeah, me, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So where I'll just assume that when he or she says students, they mean like a beginner. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as a beginner, I'll just assume that you're like starting up and you obviously don't have like what's this thing? I'll just say you don't think you have enough skill to actually go for these long shot clients and all of that. So as a beginner in design, one of the few ways you can also get clients is going to partner with beginners in other fields. That's one of the few things I'll say. As a beginner graphic designer, let's say your major role, your major field is like flyer design. As a beginner in graphic design, one of the few things I'll do is that I'll go and look for all these people that are also starting off as maybe a new perfume vendor, a new clothes vendor, a new like all these people that are just starting like new brands. I'll partner up with them, for example. I'll be like, oh, I want to start making you obviously don't have a design. And I know that one of the reasons you don't have this is because you're on a tight budget. I want to start making your designs for a really, really low price. Or I want to start making your design as a partnership where anytime you post, you actually add my name or my contact to this design. Now, you can try out the first one, which is offering a really low budget with these people. Now, one thing you need to know that most of these vendors actually need this design, but when they actually check the cost, that's why they don't have some of these designs. So you can partner up with some of them, talk to them that, oh, I want I want to make your designs for a really low price. What do you think about it? Since I'm starting up and you're starting up, this way you're actually getting design at a very low price because I'm just starting. Or it can just be a partnership. I want to make your designs for free. I see you're also building your own audience, but then anytime you post your design, any design I made, you have to actually add like my name to it or my contact to it. Now that's very simple. That's partnership, and that's one of the ways you can actually get your first clients. Now, when you upskill both in skill and in tech, you can start pitching to really big people. Now, you can start going for like big fashion brands, companies, and all of that. Just the same way you're starting small, you need to go for client, low level clients, then you can upscale to high level clients. Simple.
All right. Thank you so much, Nova Prayer. Okay. So he said, the person said, Miss Omaviki said, no university. Yes, it's still the same thing that applies to university. It was not talking about secondary school students. I mean, were you talking to secondary school students?
No, not at all. I think when she said university, it's just the same thing as a beginner. That's just it.
Okay. All right. So he said what he just gave now is the same thing for like beginners. As long as you're a beginner, it's going to work for you. Okay. Miss Omar, I hope he has answered your question. Oyinloye Fatiu. Yes, yes. We continue on the WhatsApp channel. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Nova Prayer. Let's not take too much of your time, even though we already took it. But thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for coming. And for everyone that joined this live session, I hope you really, really, really enjoyed it. So your to-do list in the group. Go and do it ASAP. Okay? Take care of yourself. Thank you so much, Nova Prayer. And yeah, have a good night rest. Thank you.
All right, bye. Thank you, surprise.
Bye. Bye.